2009-10, that deployment where family programs had no funding. So they can't be a nonprofit, they can't go out and ask for funds. So what are we doing to try to maybe bolster family support given the kind of strange kind of federal rules around money for family programs? We want those programs to be robust, and yet we don't fund them, and we don't encourage them to go seek funding. And then the community sometimes does or doesn't know that they need support. I mean, Hillsborough Rotary has been fantastic for the 41st, and particularly supporting the Forest Grove folks. I think in the last deployment, they raised about $20,000 for family support and for programs, but I think that's an anomaly. And so how do we make sure that those are robust moving forward if our troops are in the queue again for 2015?
So Vice Chair Fagan, Vice Chair Parrish, members of the committee, the 41st Brigade had that large deployment in 2009 to Iraq, a very similar type mission as we wind down the war in Afghanistan. Still uncertain, I think, in terms of what that total numbers will be, in terms of whether it will be as large in terms of the whole 41st Brigade. They've off-ramped a few of those smaller companies, but still is holding steady. And even today, a lot of discussions at the national level and in Afghanistan, what will be that continuing presence even beyond 2014, still having potentially a core group that we didn't have in Iraq, 6,000, 9,000 soldiers potentially longer term to secure the region. I think that deployment, and I think I'll turn over to a little bit of uncertainty, and I'll turn over to Michelle, how we use our targeted resources that we do have, largely federally funded in terms of the family program effort, but how do we target those specifically to the units that will be most impacted by that deployment? They've got a focused plan.
So, Vice Chair Fagan, Vice Chair Parrish, committee members, to answer your question, a couple of key points that Representative Parrish, certainly you've lived through it with us. I was very new on the job at that point. I think when I started in this job, we were in the midst of starting to process people for the deployment. So I'd like to say that we've come a long way in the 5 years. To particular questions that you talked about, the strengthening of families, which is of course my focus. As I've said, I really believe that in order to make families whole prior to encountering a military separation goes a long way rather than trying to solve crises that have occurred. So the stronger families are. To that point, we are actually starting, so the brigade is set to start their first unit to leave in June. We actually have our first Yellow Ribbon event in January, 3 and 4. And we actually have 14 Yellow Ribbon events that we will be doing across the state. Part of that, so the Yellow Ribbon Reintegration Program was a National Defense Authorization, and it provides funding to units specifically for encountering a deployment. So it's come a long way, I guess is my simple way of saying it. So if a family member is having to travel over a certain distance to attend the event, we actually put them on invitational travel orders. We actually pay for child care now, licensed child care. We actually have curriculum during those child care activities. We have 3 child and youth coordinators within my team that actually talk about what it means dad's going to be gone, mom's going to be gone. Another big one that we've been encountering now, dad left at home with 3 teenage girls. Is a real life change for that family on so many occasions. One of my favorite stories to sidestep was a service member of the 1249th whose husband was left home to choose a prom dress, and she put on her Facebook page, "Oh, please someone go shopping, I'm worried." So those things, right, trying to make the real situations better for families. So we're starting early in making sure they understand their benefits. Our families will